Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Let's Up Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Let's Up Stores on all our social media platforms. Let's Up, craft your own footprints. Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital. The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Nyongera okubuuzaako yonna gye sinzidde okuba ng'otulaba amakya amalungi gwali wano ewaffe Uganda ate gwe awangalira mu mawanga ag'enjawulo nkubuuzaako yonna gye sinzidde okuba ng'otulaba weebale nnyo okutwekuumirako Mighty Drive eprogramu gy'ogenda maaso n'okuba ng'olaba nze omumbejja Luwedde Lilian era nga akanyomero ke tulimu ka Mighty Global News Updates ngenda kuba nga nkuwa ebimu ku ebyo bikoze amawulire osobola okuba nga obitegeera ensonga ez'enjawulo mpitirivu nnyo oba oli awo ezitambudde ezikoze amawulire wano nawali naye ngenda kuba nga nkugiramuko ebimu ku ebyo oba oli awo byotasobodde kuba nga olaba byotasobodde kuba nga wekkaanya ate tutambule ffenna naye nga olunaku olwaleero tugenda kuba twegattibwako omukulu Barigye Bob era ng'omwami ono ava mu kibiina ki Forum for Democratic Change mutunuulizi wa nsonga za byabufuzi n'ebirala oba oli awo ebigwa mu kkowa ebyajja okuba nga atubuulira era nga tugenda kuba tutunuulira ensonga ate ez'enjawulo kuva mu kibiina kye kyava mu FDC oba oli awo n'embeera y'ebyobufuzi nga bwetambula wano mu ggwanga Uganda nga bwetwetegekera nno okulonda kwa 2026 bwobanga otugoberera ozze olaba engeri oba oli awo gye tuzze tukuwamu ensonga zino nga bwe zitambudde so tugenda kuba nga ate twongera okwekkaanya embeera nga bweri era tulabe ensonga zino mu kibiina ki FDC confusion eriruddawo okusinga era kyekikyalemeseza okuba nga abakulu bano ate nno munnange bakolagana naye nga tetunnaba kuba nga tumwegattako omukulu oyo kansooke nkuwe updates zaffe ez'olunaku olwaleero ate tulyoke tweyongerayo ne show yaffe ewunzikibwa ku ssaawa 4 ez'akalasamayanzi. So ngenda kuba nga ntandika ne bannakibiina ki NRM olunaku olw'eggulo bano nno nga baviira ddala mu ggombolola 5 ezikola ekibuga Kampala abakedde okuba nga bakumba era ng'okukumba kuno babadde baaniriza ssentebe w'ekibiina kyabwe ki NRM njogera ku General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yabadde ate agenda okuba nga abakyalira ku kitebe eky'ekibiina olunaku olw'eggulo ekyaddondo. Bano nno batambudde nga bagenda maaso n'okuba nga bayisa ebivvulu ate mu kwaniriza ssentebe w'ekibiina kyabwe nga bano badde bagenda kutongoza okuzza obuggya enkalala z'abalonzi mu kibiina kino kyennyini ki NRM. So bano bwe bamaze okubanga ate bayisa ebivvulu mu kibuga Kampala kale ssentebe bwe yatuuse ku mukolo guno ne guba nga gutandika naye omukolo guno gwabaddeko ebikonge by'enjawulo okuviira ddala mu NRM kwabaddeko ate abakulu okuva mu kibiina kino kyennyininyini akulira ebyokulonda kwabaddeko ssentebe b'ebibiina munnange kwabaddeko n'abakulembeze ab'enjawulo era ng'omukolo guno chairman w'ekibiina yabaddewo nnyo ate okusobola okulaba nti azza obuggya erinnya lye ku lukalala olw'abalonzi. Kakati ssentebe w'ekibiina ki NRM era nga ye mukulembeze w'eggwanga General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ate mu kwogerako eri bannakibiina olunaku olw'eggulo yagenze maaso n'okuba nga alabula abo bonna abaagala okuba nga bakulemberamu enteekateeka ate ey'okuwandiisa obaolyawo n'okuzza obuggya enkalala z'abalonzi mu kibiina ki NRM ate okulaba nti omulimu guno bagukola bulungi wabula n'alabula eri abo bonna abaagala ate okuteekawo enteekateeka eno abaagala okudibaga enteekateeka eno nti nno munnange nno boolekedde okuba nga batwalibwa eruzira era nga bano bajja kuba nga bamalayo ebbanga lya myaka 7. Omukulembeze olunaku olw'eggulo omukolo guno gwabadde gwa kutongoza ate okuzza obuggya enkalala z'abalonzi mu kibiina kino nga beetegekera okulonda kwa 2026 era ku mukolo guno gwe gumu amaloboozi kwe gaavudde agamugamba nti muzeeyi tova ku maini 2026 ate munnange ffe tukyakwetaaga. So ensonga nnyingi nnyo ezayogeddwako erudda eyo era nga obaolyawo sisobodde kuba nga nzimenyamenya olwakadde olw'ensonga nti omugenyi waffe yamaze dda okuba nga twegattako. Mu buufu bwe bumu omukulembeze w'eggwanga General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ate yalonze eyaliko omumyuka we Professor Gilbert baali baseka Bukenya ono nno nga ye muwabuzi we ku nsonga z'obutonde bw'ensi okunokosa n'obuyonjo. Ekiwandiiko ekyo kyekyafulumiziddwa era nga kyabadde kiraga bulungi nnyo obukulu obwaweereddwa eyaliko Vice President Professor Gilbert baali baseka Bukenya era nga munnange tumukulisa okuba nga yatuuse ku kkula lino. So eggulire eryo nalyo njagala ndireka kakati neyongereyo mu ggulire eddala. Olukiiko olw'abataka ba Buganda era nga lukubirizibwa omutaka w'ekika ky'Ekkobe Namwama Augustine Kizito ate olunaku olw'eggulo balonze katikkiro w'ekika kya Kasemba Edward Brown Lwanga okwonokosa ne katikkiro we Katikkiro Mbaziira ow'Ennyonyi Ennyange Kato Lutuuma okulungamya ekika ky'endiga mu kulonda Lwomwa omujja era ng'ono waakuddira mu bigere ebya Lwomwa ate Engineer Daniel Bosa eyatemulwa ku Sunday ya wiiki eno. Olukiiko luno ate lwe lugenda okuba nga munnange lukola omulimu gw'okufuna Lwomwa addako oluvannyuma lw'okuba nti eyali Lwomwa w'ekika ky'endiga Inginiya Bosa ate yatemulwa ku Sunday munnange n'ava mu bulamu bw'ensi eno. So awo nno enteekateeka we zikyali era nga omutaka ono yakubwa masasi bwe yali ate atuuka mu maka ge. So embeera eyo nayo bwetyo bwekyali naye nga mu kukungubagira abadde Luuma w'ekika ky'endiga omukulembeze w'ekibiina kya NUP omukulu Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu naye olunaku olw'eggulo yawuubyeko ekigere mu maka g'abadde Luuma w'ekika ky'endiga Engineer Daniel Bosa era nga mu maka gano omukulu ono yatuuseeyo akawungezi k'olunaku olw'eggulo oba oliawo n'abaako ensonga ez'enjawulo zayogerako ku ttemu ly'emmundu erigenda maaso mu ggwanga era n'ategeeza nti obumenyi bw'amateeka ekikula kino buno nno bwe bwabawaliriza okuba nga beenyigira mu byobufuzi basobole ate okuba nga babulwanyisa. Yayogedde ensonga nnyingi nnyo naye nga yayogedde n'obusungu buyitirivu nnyo ku mbeera eno egenda mu maaso oba ey'ettemu lino ery'emmundu n'alaga okwennyamira ate munnange olw'engeri bino gye bigenda mu maaso ate ne gavumenti engeri ensonga gye zikuttemu. So awo nno nawo njagala nveewo neeyongereyo ate muggulire eddala abatuuze b'e Wandegeya awo nno nga bali wamu n'abakulembeze okuva mu Kampala olunaku olw'eggulo bakuŋŋaanidde ku ssentebe ya ofiisi w'ekyalo Kimwanyi nga bano nno bakuŋŋaanye okulaga obutali bumativu olwa kansala munnaabwe omukyala ow'ekitundu ekyo Sharon Kemigisha eyabuzibwawo. Bano nno bagenze maaso n'okulumiriza gavumenti okubeera emabega w'okuwambibwa kwa Kemigisha Sharon era nga bagisabye nti bw'abeera alina emisango kale bamusimbe mu mbuga z'amateeka avunaanibwe oba bw'abeera nga yafa ebisigalira byabwe ate babe nga babibawa okugenda okuziika. N'omwami wa mukyala Sharon Kemigisha naye yavuddeyo oba oliawo n'agatta eddoboozi ku abo abadde babanja mukyala Sharon Kemigisha n'ategeeza nti abaana bamubuuza wa mama waabwe waali nga naye ebyokubaddamu oba oliawo tabirina. So n'asaba nti mukyala Sharon Kemigisha bw'abanga alina emisango gyonna gye yazza bamusimbe mu mbuga z'amateeka kale asomerwe emisango gino oba oliawo bw'abanga yava mu bulamu bw'ensi n'ebisigalira bye babibawe basobole okuba nga bamuziika. Era nga nno bano beegattiddwako bakansala okuva mu bitundu eby'enjawulo okuvaayo okwongerako eddoboozi ku nsonga eno ne bavumirira ekiwamba bantu ne bategeeza nti oba oliawo ensonga eno yeetaaga okuba nga ekolwako bunnambiro kale naffe ne tuba nga twongeddeko eddoboozi ku kubanja mukyala Sharon Kemigisha wonna waali oba oliawo bamuleete bamusimbe mu kkooti bamusomere emisango gye yazza abantu be bamulabeko ate basobole okumanya oba ali bulungi oba wali weetaaga okubaawo ekikolebwa. So ensonga eyo bwetyo bwekyali ekinaba kituusewo kyonna tojja kwongera okuba nga tubategeeza ebinaba bivudde eyo. Kalisoliiso wa gavumenti ate ekituuka ku nsonga y'okulwanyisa enguzi olutalo nno alututte mu byalo era ng'eno akozesa abatuuze wamu n'abakulembeze ku byalo okuba nga balondoola emirimu gya gavumenti n'empeereza ku byalo etuumiddwa lifestyle audit. Era nga mu nteekateeka eno kalisoliiso wa gavumenti Betty Olive Namisango Kamya asabye abatuuze okuba nga beewala okulwanya entalo z'ebyobufuzi wakati mu kulwanyisa enguzi era wabula beesigame nnyo ku bujulizi. Olutalo luno olw'okulwanyisa enguzi kalisoliiso wa gavumenti ate alwongeddemu amaanyi. So katulinde oba oliawo bwe binaaba bivuddeyo sayidi eyo nabyo tujja kubanga tubibatuusaako. Natera okunzika updates zaffe naye nga sinaziwunzika kankuwe n'eggulire lino. Speaker wa Parliament Anita Anet Among olunaku olw'eggulo ate bwe yabadde mu lutuula lwa Parliament yennyamidde olw'akatambi akasaasaanidde ku mitimbagano nga kalaga emmotoka ya gavumenti ate nno munnange nga etomera omuntu mu ngeri erabika nga ngenderere era nga bino byabadde mu district ey'ekagadi. Sipiika yakivumiridde nnyo era ne yeewuunya obwannantagambwako munnange nno obujjudde mu ggwanga era nga buno butuuse n'okuba nga buleetera abantu abamu okweyisa nga bwe baagala, era n'ategeeza nti bino byetaaga okuba nga bikomekkerezebwa bunnambiro. Awo nawo nvuddewo neeyongeddeyo ku bbago erikwata ku mwenge. Ekibiina ekigatta abasuubuzi mu Kampala kikasiita saako n'ekigatta bannamakolero ki Uganda Manufacturers Association bategeezezza nti singa ebbago ly'omwenge ate the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill liyisibwa ne lifuuka etteeka, ligenda kuviirako abantu okutandika ate okunywera omwenge mu maka gaabwe, era nga kino kijja kubanga munnange nno kivaako okuyigiriza abaana abatannaba kwetuuka ate okunywa omwenge. Bano nno olunaku olwegulwadde mu kakiiko ka Parliament akakola ku nsonga oba oliawo nga zino bategeezezza nti ensonga eno yeetaaga okuba nga ekwatibwa n'obwegendereza olw'ensonga nti egenda kuba nga ekosa ebyenfuna by'eggwanga, wabula ate abamu nga bo bagamba nti etteeka lino tulyetaaga, nga abalala bagamba tetulyetaaga, ng'abamu obaoliawo bagamba nti bo baakula, bwe baali bakula essente ezaabaweerera zonna zaavanga mu kutunda mwenge. So bwe baba nga baleese etteeka nga lino, waliwo abantu bangi nnyo abagenda okuba nga bakosebwa, naye ng'ate abalala bagamba nti ekireetera abavubuka okunywa ennyo ensangi zino kwe kubanga tebakyalina mirimu. So embeera eyo bwetyo bwekyali, ensonga oba oliawo ekwatagana ku tteeka lino nayo katugirinde gy'enaaba eggweeredde, tujja kubanga twongera okubatuusaako ebinaaba bivudde eyo. Kale ensonga eyo nayo kangirekaawo, ensonga oba oliawo ezikwatagana ku bbaga eryo tujja kuzibatuusaako nga bwe zinaaba zitambudde. Updates zaffe njagala nziwunzikire wano. Bwe tuwummulamu tugenda kuba tukomawo n'omugenyi waffe olunaku olwaleero era nga Mighty Drive ekyagenda mu maaso.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
What at the church, though?
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, Abakulembeze. Did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704 11 1720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings. Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, Corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Nyongera okubuuzaako gwe atwekumiddeko gwe yakatwegattako naawe ate atambudde naffe okuva wali we tutandikidde. Nyongera okubuuzaako nze omumbejja Lilian nkwaniriza nnyo program The Mighty Drive gye tugenda nayo mu maaso okutuuka ku ssaawa 4 ez'akalasa mayanzi. Nze omumbejja Lilian era nga ntudde ne munange Rogers tuli ahabwe bwe tugenda otambuza sheeno n'omugenyi waffe olunaku olwaleero omukulu Bob Barigye. Tugenda kuba twogera ku nsonga okuva mu kibiina ki FDC kakati ya subscribing ku Katonga. So tugenda kuba twogera oboolyawo emberebeze eziri eyo ezireetedde oboolyawo obuteegata okubuzaabuzibwa bo abavubuka bwe kituuka ku nsonga eno omulimu gwabwe guli ki oba beetaaga kubanga bakola ki. Tugenda kuba tutambulira awo so oboolyawo bwe tunaaba nga kadi katusobozesezza tukwateko ne ku nsonga endala bingi ebigenda mu maaso oboolyawo byasobola okuba nga tutangazaamu. So akazindaalo kano saagala nkeesigalize bw'omu kansooke nkawe munange Rogers tuli ahabwe asooka alamuse kuba tulaba naye nga nkutegeeza tuli butereevu ku pages zaffe The Alternative Uganda ne Digital TV so nga ate YouTube channel yaffe eri The Alternative Uganda. Njagala akazindaalo nsooke nkawe Rogers asooka alamuse kuba tulaba nja kubanga ate nkomawo nyongera okubuulira ku katabo kano akakwata ku bulwadde obwa cancer. Good morning Rogers.
Good morning, Vivian. Okay, I'll get back to that. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation this morning. My name is Rogers Turiabwe, and today we are here to talk about a number of issues, particularly those about political parties. We have a gentleman who's coming from the FDC, and we want to understand, first of all, the rift that is within the party. Yeah. How far is it going, and what is it likely to affect? We, especially at the time, when we are heading towards the general election, which is just 1 year away, actually. So a lot of people might feel like it's some time, there's some time, but time is actually not up. We saw yesterday, I think, at the NRM, they were rolling out, I think they were starting their process of their primaries and whatnot. So if we still have these kind of issues in the FDC, how prepared are they for the 2026, and which side should we expect anyway? For some people maybe who follow the FDC, who subscribe to it. So those are some of the things we're going to be looking at today, but also understanding exactly what should the young people, youths, I don't want to call them young people, youths, I think. That's much descriptive. What is it they're supposed to do, especially in the FDC, to make sure that they sort of bring back their party so that they revive their glory? Because FDC at one time was the main opposition for a long time, by the way. So right now, quite the opposite. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Thank you so much for being a part of us this morning. First of all, why Ekatonga for you?
Good morning, everyone, our viewers. Thank you for watching. First of all, why Ekatonga for me? For me, I've been FDC. I've never been to any other party. And the reason why I joined the FDC was basically because of its principles. And that's what made me join FDC. I'm a member of FDC. And even in the previous election, I stood as a Lord Councillor on the FDC ticket. Why Ekatonga? No, when all these confusions began, people had to take sides. According to what we were seeing, what was being said by our leaders. And some of us sat down and really talked to our hearts. Because the reason why I joined FDC, it was because of its principles. Some of our leaders had stopped behaving the way we thought they would be. They should be behaving. And that really affected us, and we had to take sides. Me, I decided to go with the truth. And the truth was sticking with the people and knowing that the things that were being said, because some of us have been in FD for so long, so we could see the things, we could see the change of our leaders, how they were behaving. Some of these questions, some of us personally asked our leaders. Like me, myself, I asked Nandala Mafabi, asked him what is going on. But for him, he would not give genuine reasons. He would keep on dilly-dallying around, talking about Besigye is the problem, blah, 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 blah. No, we talked to him, no, but the guy has something. He's saying that you got money. And he said, no, don't talk about money, blah, 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 blah. And that's why some of us decided to part ways with them.
Okay. So you mentioned two things. One, you said you decided you had to go with the truth.
Yes.
And then the other, you said, is it facts, I think?
Yes.
So on all of, before you made your decision to decide, you know what, I'm going to stay with Ekatonga or move with Ekatonga as one faction, was there some sort of, besides what your leaders said, because I feel like majority of you might have made those decisions based on that, were there like concrete facts where you'd say, for example, like allegations on money, to say that this has been established that you took the money, therefore I decide I'm not following you, or is it still an allegation and you feel
it is not an allegation.
The side of one of the leaders should be...
it's not an allegation. Some of us have been in FDC for so long. Me, I joined FDC in 2016. In 2006, I was in my senior 4. That's when I joined FDC. By then, I was not even a voter. I joined FDC, I've seen FDC. I know when FDC has been having money, I know how our leaders have been behaving, and even when the money came in, how they changed, how they would behave. Some of us, the youth are the pillar of the party. We do everything. When there is money, you will know that there is money. At one moment, we were being given allowances to go for burials. At one moment, during our campaigns, we would be called to get money. And we're asking, where is this money coming from? In the first instance, they would explain to us, no, the political parties would get money from MPs, blah, 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 blah. But the amount of money that was being dished out. And when the money stopped, money is not a problem. People get money from all ways of life. Because running a political party, especially in Uganda, is not something that is very easy. People get money. People will donate. But there is abnormal cash that was flowing in FDC. We would get money. One time we had a workshop, and we were being given per diem of 100,000.
Each individual.
each individual were like, what? Why is this all? But giving us money would not be the problem. But what was being said to us, as activists, we would have meetings and someone would come. Instead of telling you how activism would help the party, someone would start talking about an individual. Because at the end we go to know these things. No, sikumulabira ddala. Okwogerera munne bubi. Omuntu abala okuwa ssente n'agamba nno munnange olaba muli bakwano bange naye gundi oyo mubi. Lwaki omuntu ayogera bw'ati ffenna tuli wamu oyo muntu mubi oyo muntu netuga ate nga takikola kulumu ogenda okuli abakwano bagamba ffe twabadde n'emitiyana naffe bayogedde naffe bwe bati. So at the end of the day, when Besigye came out to explain why the money came into the party, no mulimu gw'alina okukola, then we go to understand. Kubanga sente zino ezayingira mu FDC zalina emigaso esatu. Ogusooka gwali Ghana activism mu FDC. I'm an activist. I've been to the streets. We have been. My thing is the environment activism. Nainga bwe mugenda ne mukola activism. Pate ekirwanyisa nnyo.
Okay.
Ekyokubiri sene zino zajja nti nno FDC yalina okubeera ng'eyogerera bubi Besigye. Abantu abo balaba batambulanga mu ggwanga lyonna nga bagenda boogero. Nuga kale Besigye alina ensobizi. Naye lwaki mukola olukiiko ne muwa abantu ssente mwogere ku muntu? Tegera. Ekyokusatu twategera nti zino ssente zajja nga tezaagala nti FDC ebeeko n'abalala beegatta nabo. Bwe twatulanga mu nkiiko ng'olanga batugamba abo abagundi babi, abanuupu babi tetulina kwegatta nabo. Tegera. In the first instance we would buy it, by the way. Kubanga twali mu elections nga tugamba nuupu tuteko ekifo kyaffe 2021 elections nga tulaba nuupu mbi. Bwe baali batugamba naye nga olaba nti bwe baba boogera ku nuupu bagyogerako bubi nnyo. Bagezako bateeka mu omutima temulina kukolagana nabo era wanupu omusanga mu kyabwe. Until our leaders came out and tugamba ni munne sente zino zajja kukola netandika okukyefumiitirizaako kumbe buno kino byo kibadde kitegeeza. So nze ng'omuntu nasalawo ng'omuntu neŋŋaana omanyi sisobola kubeera n'abantu balimba. Kubanga okubeera mu opposition kintu kiri challenging, especially for that the youth. Tulina opportunities zetufiirwa. Naye obeera n'abantu ng'obalaba nti nno bo balimu obukuusa. Kiba kibi nnyo. Era nze kyovula nze nasalawo ng'omuntu. Kubanga buli muntu yalina personal vindication ey'okusalawo.
Bamwasalawo lwa bandi wagona, bamwasalawo lwa kuba mwagala nnyo dokita.
Sinze kumukubbo. Nze saasalawo wakwaga nti n'olanjaga nnyo dokita. Ffe tubadde mu elections za FDC abamu nga oluusi tetumusupportinga. Oluusi ng'alina kyayogera nedda nze ng'omuntu nandyagadde kino kubanga waliwo akalulu akajjawo mu FDC akamuntu ne Ambriat. Nze basically nali supportinga muntu kubanga yali agamba to building a structure, to building ekibiina okuva wansi nga nze nkiraba kikola. But ne batuwangula akalulu tusigala mu FDC. Naye ng'olaba
musigalamu mmwe abalala ne bagenda.
Abamu ne bagenda. It's okay. Ate ffe abamu abasigadde mu FDC. FDC tugibaddemu ebbanga ddene. Emyaka gyonna gizze ne tusigala ne FDC. Famu kufe twalina choice ogenda mu nuupu. Kubanga ffe politika yewiya tulina bye tutegeera. Ffe tulinga nga basuubuzi. Politics wa tumulaba bw'atambula. Twalisobola oganda waka tugende mu nuupu tufune ebifo. Neno gamba my principles. Kino ekizze simanyi gye kiraga. N'osigala mu FDC. Naye ate omala okusigala mu FDC ogenda okulaba nga tekigatta. Kitegeera. Kubanga some of us, most especially the youth, baganda bafa abasinga obungi abagenda mu nuupu. Kubanga nuupu egyolaba yakolebwa abantu abali bamanyi ebyobufuzi. Abamu bava mu FDC, abamu ne bava mu DP, ne beegatta wamu. Naffe twalina omukisa ogwo. Naye ffe abamu kutwazigana nze ekibiina kyange FDC. Principles zaakyo nzibiriivingiramu era ajja zitambuliramu. Until wogenda okulaba nti abakulembeze bo batandika okubeera nga bakutwala mu kukemebwa. Then n'olyoka n'ofulumayo.
Bakutwala mu kukemebwa nga bwe kiri mu ssaale, mututwala mu kukemebwa. N'osalawo n'ogamba kanti.
Ogamba manyi tubaagala nnyo. Naye waliwo baatuka nga tebakyali redeemable. Otegeera? Teri muntu alinajja na nkumbi. Ali okubanga nti nno obwongo bwe oba ali conscious ye ali nayo. Abasinga omu tebali nayo. Jo juzi nali ku internet ya mwano nga ndaba. Waliwo muganda wange omwojobire. He's an activist like me. He's my colleague. Nga agamba ekimu ku byaleeta obuzimu mu FDC yali contradiction. No. It was a choice. Ojobire twalinaye mu Jobless Brotherhood. An activist. Amanyi lwaki yasigala ki enajja nankumbi. Enajja nankumbi kyo kyali activism. Tosobola kubeera najja nankumbi n'ogenda ku street. Tosobola kubanga bo bakugamba ekyo tolina kikola. Eyawa sente yabagamba temukola ekyo. Yakyovola brand ya FDC, FDC twali ba defiance. Ng'ekintu bagamba ntoyitawo n'oyitawo. N'ogenda najja nankumbi aso kikola kati. So abantu
bawaddemu ebbanga tulawo baba
tebajja kikola banaye mulekerawo okulinda ennyo.
Let me ask you. So they said, like you said, FDC is built on defiance, which is historically true. But you also understand that different leaders have different leadership styles.
Yes.
It does not mean that when Dr. KB was leader of the FDC, if Monto came and said, I don't believe it, I think we can take this way, it doesn't mean that they are saying what you're doing is wrong. I'm just saying this is a better
This is my style.
This is my style. Thank you so much. So why do you conclude that because maybe Najana Komi does not believe in defiance and activism, therefore they should be branded this and that principle cannot be sustained, even that you cannot have a conversation and decide how can you, in their style, how can you incorporate the defiance and activism?
For instance,
how do you then...
For instance, one of the reasons why Muntu lost the FDC presidency was because of his style of leadership. For him, he believed in structures, building, blah, 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 organization. That was his principle. The FDC changed his leadership and brought power. Power came on the back of Dr. Besigye. Because people, the FDC members, lacked that, thought that their brand was dying, and they replaced Muntu with power. Because they wanted to revive that activism, that zeal, the brand of the FDC. Power is still the party president of FDC.
Yes.
When he was coming, for us, we were against him coming, we thought, okay, let's organize, let's build structures, blah, blah, blah. He won us. We stayed. He said he's going to come with activism. His manifesto slogan was man of action. Action in terms of activism. So when they won, we put our hands and like, okay, let them take the mantle. What has he done? Have you seen power become an activist?
Now I have another question.
So because of that, that's why he said he lied to us as our leader, and he has been compromised, known to do what he was elected to do.
Okay.
Period.
So on the question of activism, and I want us to not look like we are doing individual fanaticism. Activism is a style of Besigye. Yeah,
and many other.
Yes.
And many other.
Yes, I understand that. Yes. That's true. The founding of FDC was activism, like you said, and that was largely a style of Besigye. When every leader comes and does not do what Besigye believes or did when he was a leader, you look at them as going against the principles of the FDC. Do you think that's a position of the FDC or it's a position of Besigye, and many of you follow Besigye, not the principles of the FDC?
Let me tell you one thing. Every party is built on a fundamental principle.
Yes.
The Conservative Party of UK, organization, that's theirs. Cooperatives, what and what. Every party has a principle. That's why we choose a certain party. NRM is built on peace, blah, blah, blah. If you want these things, that is it. DP, for them, they are conservatives, they are, that is it. So when I joined FDC, I joined it because of its principles, like I told you. One of it is activism. Being a party of zeal, a party that can force things to happen. And if that is separated from FDC, when that DNA is taken out from FDC, then it ceases to be my party. That's why people, when you look at Federal Alliance, it's built on federalism. So every party must have that uniqueness. That's why for us politicians, we join a party or we associate with a party according to its DNA. Okay. So you can't tell me that Federal Alliance, for them they will always talk about federalism, they will teach you about federalism, that is it. FDC, it is an activist party. So if someone does something else, then it ceases to be FDC. That's why you see people get away from it. Okay. So I want to understand that point. Do you think, again, I want to divorce it I want to divorce it from the idea, and which I think is one of the problems, that a lot of people are just following the approach of SG as opposed to FDC. Let me tell one thing. First wait a moment. Basically, based on that, yeah, and many of these other guys might. I'm not talking about the contradictions and what's not that happened later that has brought the breakaway. I'm just looking at the activism part and whatnot. When all of these parties have those fundamental pillars, does that mean they need to be rigid? That when another leader decides, can we try this sort of way and see how we can edge closer if it brings us any closer? Do you think that's a thing you should also look at, instead of saying, look, okay, I understand activism is our point, but how do we adjust a bit to see that we can achieve some of the things we may not have achieved? FDC has not always been rigged. That's why Muntu, a person who does not believe in activism, was a party president. Because people until he was thrown out for not believing in activism. No, parties keep on changing. Precisely. So why is that not? Why don't you adjust on that one? Let me tell you one thing. As you change, you might not lose yourself. You must not lose yourself as you change. You know, look. Let's look at the DP, at the Republicans and the Democrats in the US. People will always vote the Republicans and vote the Democrats, depending on the situation. When people were tired of wars, they said, Republicans, to hell with you. Let's bring Democrats. So it's a choice of the people. Even in the party, internal politics plays that way. So when people, the FDC were fighting, walk to work, people wanted to breathe, they brought Muntu. So, and then after some time, they said, okay, we have rested enough, let's go back. They brought power. The problem of FDC is not Besigye. And someone should never lie to you that the problem of FDC is Besigye. In 2011, 12, Besigye cut his term short and went for activism because the party was like, we are tired of you. Every time people are being imprisoned, you go away. Internally, Besigye was like, okay, you people, I believe in activism. They told him, okay, you believe in activism? Go do your activism. Go do your activism in Ekatonga. That's why the Ekatonga office began. Ekatonga office has not begun in 2024. It began as early as 2012. Walk to for GC. That's when it began. Besigye was doing his activism, but as a member of FDC, he would come to FDC for some time. But FDC has been managed without him. Nedda sikweyabuluza principle ya Besigye yogamba nti no yayagala bya mifumbi bagata tugikoye najja na nkumbi funa office endala okolereyo ebibyo era nga gyabikolera nenga member olusa jana subscribing mpola n'abawa ku magezi nawo ne bamuwa ku magezi ne bamuyambako nga abayambako kitegeera mpaka bino ebituusewo omuntu gwe balonda. The problem with FDC is not Besigye. The problem with FDC is Patrick Amriat. Nedda, ekankola ekintu kiri kimu. Paul baali bamulonda. Yagamba, I'm a man of action. Ngenda kuza FDC ku street nze njagala activism. Era ba member ba FDC kye bamulondera. Before nga tannalondebwa yaliko mu activism ono gwe mwakolanga. Yali muko mugundi mu togikwatako. Yes. Yajibeeranga muko somewhere you would be helpful. Si buli politician tojja mulaba. Kole abakole underground work. Okitegera yalimu. Era yewe yajja ya convince nga ba member ba FDC abamulonda. N'abaganze mulaba bino betubadde mu bya organization in Bakooye. Tuddeyo ku luguudo. Ba member ba FDC, look at you people. The members of FDC decide. It is their party. As long as they are members, they can decide on that. kino kye twagala bamme FDC bakera ku macha ne bagane ndo manyi twagala kulima kasooli era bajja mulima kubanga ekibiina kyabwe balonda po ne bamugamba nti nno tuzze mu activism awo sente wezayingirira ne ba compromising apo ne bamanya nti mudda mu activism bawadde bakulondedde ku ekyo tokikola ne bagamba tulina n'obuzibu obulala waliwo omusajja oyo atuula Ekatonga naye mumusabule nze nkubuulira nti nno abantu abo batambula eggwanga lino lyonna era abantu bana balimba olusi mbalaba nga balimba batambula eggwanga lyonna naye nga agenda yaabwe eri egi Besigye mubi Besigye tatwagaliza Besigye muntu mubi nnyo
anti kati ekibiina kyatambuliranga ku individuum
nzereka nkubuulire
waawo tekitambula
nedda eyo syndrome y'abantu abatamira Besigye even when Besigye dies me I will stay a member of FDC okitegera kubanga nze kyeyanga oba embala eyo gye yansigamu nagikwata simukoppa simugoberera naye nti nno mmanye ekituufu okitegera so kati gwe bw'ojja nga tuli bamemba tuli mu gurupu yaffe eno n'okola ebiri contrary to that then I will leave okitegera that's why some of us let me tell you one thing from a perspective of a member of FDC, an active member of FDC. Ebyali bigenda mu FDC wadde mubira mawulire muyinza okugamba nti no Besigye ayogera ye kubanga ayagala kwerungia nedda aba abasajja batambula lino eggwanga lyonna nga bagenda bamukonjera Besigye zonta nenjo naye waliwo ebimu ebisukka n'oyita abavubuka ku headquarter oba emitwalo 10 n'omala olunaku lwonna banyumiza bubi bwa Besigye. Actually at one moment twabuza nikati bituyisiza tutune kye twakwogera ko kirala bwe mutandika okubuza ebibuzo you people okay that's how it has been going on and it is bad equally bad you cannot have an institution based on blackmail kitegera gwe nofuna abantu oba blackmailing because you must stay with them and actually let me tell you one thing Besigye was a very patient man. If it was another person it would have gone bizarre. He was so patient that at one moment we told him, you man, don't you see that these guys are finishing you off? Baba yise, baba nyumiza gundi. Even other activists, nga tulivuga ne kati activism, abana babakutte. Tukoze tutya, ebyo twabibagana. Until we got to know the truth. Ba leaders bafe bagane basayininga check in this. Bakole bwe batne bwe bati. That is it.
Ng'abakulembeze oba oli awo tukkiriza nti buli mukulembeze alina style y'enkola y'ebintu bwe mubanga omukulembeze yaliko yali akkiririza mu activism omukulembeze azinaga amuna ebintu tetubyetaaga ssaawa eno ate mwe mwefuula bakyewaggula
leka nkula ekintu kiri kimu ekibiina si ky'abakulembeze ekibiina ky'abantu bammemba memba oyo akwata singi 10 n'alugula omwaka n'afuuka memba n'asubscribinga oba n'afuuka permanent member oyo yasalirawo ekibiina era be balonda abakulembeze so si abakulembeze si be bafuga eki si be bafuga abantu okitegeera bwe tubanga tuli mu sako ffe bamemba tusanyuka nti sente zaffe tujja ziwola batembeeyi gwe liida waffe tosobola kusala noga nti nze sijja kuwola batembeeyi nja kuwola bamukatale okitegeera bamemba ffe tulina obuyinza ku bibiina byaffe. Unless you want to tell us that these parties belong to the leaders, they belong to members. So, but what voting, like they voted power and told him, you know what, your mandate, according to your manifesto, you have told us we are going for activism. As the majority members, even when others lose. Chuva wali democracy, tugende mu kalulu. Agenda yoli gye baguze. Fe ba member abaluzinze tugamba okay, banange bano beba wangudde, we support them. Okitegera? Era bwembanga ndi member wa FDC nga nyina kyenjagala bannange the majority nga baagala kirala bwe bamala okumpangula it is my responsibility okuwagira bali. One of the reasons power tabalimbanga nti nno gundi senga power yali style ye yali yagamba nti nno tayagala activism it would be okay, but when power was coming yagamba nze njagala activism era kye tumubanja n'abaluzinga kino mbanyi tumuga nedda wawangwa n'ogamba oyagala activism bw'oba togikoze it is my responsibility kugamba nedda For instance, when we vote a president, in normal senses, fetu ino mugamba kyalina tukolera. Bw'oleeta manifesto eno gandi njagala kukola nguudo nkola amalwaliro nkola amasomero. Oli naganze njagala kulumba ntalo ngende Kongo nfune ssente tugaggawale ng'eggwanga. Ne tugamba nedda. Ono agende Kongo ayagala otugaggawaza gwe tulonze. Bw'amala okulondebwa tumugamba watugamba ogenda Kongo oluddewo ogenda oleete ssente ze watugamba nti ogenda kukola ki? Ate bw'ava ku ekyo n'atandika okuzimba amasomero. Kubanga Paul was a liar. He told us he's a man of action. He's going for activism.
Okay.
So he went at that side. And when he started complaining about it, we became enemies. So, this style ye, just he was yawambiwa.
Style ye ya activism.
Mu manifesto ye, Yagamba is a man of action. He's bringing back that gist of activism. Chova nebesi ya muwagira. Nanga muna bali bangamba bo bagala structures eranze nali nabyenenya. Na abiyinga mga ekale activism ngaba zayi na brand ye yange nange jenjagala kamo supporting era kye kyamuwanguza akalulu. Kati bwakola ekirala.
Awo siche bayita okuwaganyaza nti kakati obukulembeze obuzzeeko ne Dr. Kiza Besigye naye alabanga obulingo obukonya ekibiina okwo kusikwe kuwaganyaza abalala okutandika okulukinga
FDC yakabeera ne ba president bana yasooka ne Sara Musumba lwagamba Mutema mumanyi nga twegatta ng'oyagala kumanya FDC manya gyetandikira abantu abasinga omungi mwogera ku FDC mu 2015 2000 tegera twogere ku FDC mu 2001 abantu abeegatta okukola FDC baali ebiwayi bisatu. Waliwo ekyawayi ekya reform agenda ekyali kyawukanye ku NRM nga kiraba byekola tebigasa.
Yes.
Ekyali kikulemberwa Dr. Besigye. Okitegeera? Waliwo Democratic Alliance yali ekulemberwa Chapa Karuhanga eyali etuula Ekatonga by then. Nayo yajja. Ne PAFO bamemba abali mu parliament abali nga abali befudde nga opposition by then twali political parties. Okitegeera? Bebeegatta okukola FDC. Buli omu yajja ne DNA. Ba rebels aba reform agenda abali bavudde mu NRM bajja n'embeera ey'okukozesa amaanyi activism. Nedda tulina okugamba abantu bano tulina okubategeeza tulina okufolonya amateeka yeeyo. Abali bavudde mu PAFO abali bavudde mu parliament bo ba diplomati okitegeera byampolampola nedda tubuilding structures tuzimbe ekibiina ekituufu okitegeera ne beegatta ne bakola FDC. Kati FDC eyo bwetandika omuntu senga ekintu ekimu kyagala kigiwambe nga CDN gye bakkaanyako omukago guno abeegatta bano okukola kino ekintu oba baliddemu olukwe then ffe ne bamemba abalala tusubscribinga with time.
Katsoke tuwumulemeko katono nnyo Mighty Drive ekyagenda maaso nsonga za FDC naye njagala mmanye bo abavubuka ng'emberebe zino zitandika baali luddawa eddoboozi lyabwe lyali luddawa kiki kyeba oba oli abalinako alternatives ze baawa waliwo solutions zonna ze baawa waliwo oba oliawo ensonga zonna ze baawaayo okulaba nti embeera eno tesajjuka so tuwumulamu katono nnyo bwe tukomawo Mighty Drive ekyagenda maaso.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Hub Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Hub Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Hub, craft your own footprints. Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting, thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704111720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Well, tukulikaya nyo mkumula mwoko the Mighty Drive, your program joke na maso nokubango labanze mumbeja luwe Dididian ndine mwanange Rogers ya habwe n'omugenyi waffe olunaku olwaliro mukulu Bob ava mu kibiina ki Forum for Democratic Change era nga subscribing ku Katonga ali mu kutubuulira atugambye nga tonatandika kujajinga FDC sooka omanye ensibuko yaayo nga tonatandika kujogerako nnyo manya ensibuko manya gye yava abadde akyatuwa olugendo olwo naye abamu bakitunuulira mu ngeri y'okuba nti ekibiina kino kyazimbibwa ku muntu oba ku bantu ssekinnoomu nga obaolyawo baba tebaliiwo ekibiina kiyinza obutatambula obaolyawo ebimu biyinza obutagenda mu maaso. Tubadde wano mu break omukulu omu n'agamba nti abamu bali Katonga naye tebaliyo because bagoberera FDC but because they are following a certain individual oba bo bakkiririza mu muntu oyo okubanga yalina okulembera FDC abamu balowooza ndowooza alina kulembera paka kufa but tuli butereevu ku the Alternative Uganda. You can join the conversation. Ngogenda butereevu mu comment section teekayo endowooza yo. I'll be reading the comments before we come to the end of the show, so teekayo comment yo kati kyoyagala okubuuza kyoyagala okumanya about FDC bo abavubuka mu nsonga zino bali luddawa.
Let me start before we reach the youth. In Uganda, and this is something you said, you hinted a bit in the break. In Uganda, political parties are formed on individuals and the backs of individuals. Do you think FDC is different?
Yes, it is.
How different is it?
Let me tell you one thing. FDC, as it was one of the most democratic institutions I've ever seen. You would stand, win an election if you convince the members, the delegates. It is very bad to build a party on individuals.
Yeah, that's
all you got. You know, our democracy is still young. We have moved, but it is very bad. All the political parties in Uganda, most of them, except FDC, were built on individuals. Look here, in FDC, Dr. Besigye would be whipped. At one moment, I've told you that he decided to leave the party headquarters and form another office for his
That's
activism.
precisely the problem. That's what I'm talking about. That's the problem.
No.
When he decides, as someone, for example, who founded a party, and one who many people believed in and trusted, by the way, a presidential candidate, one was a very biggest rival in the Ugandan politics. He decides that, you know what, the position of the party and the approach
It's different from
does not represent my approach. Yes. And therefore, as an individual, I am going to leave this office of the party,
president,
come here and do my own work. Yes? Do you believe, as an individual had been leading the leading opposition party in Uganda, many people were not convinced that he has the right direction, that he's going to represent them? Do you think many of them would follow him because he has the principles or because of, as an individual, and therefore that would affect the party on its own?
Let me tell you one thing. The reason why Besigye decides to leave Najana Nkumbi in 2011 was because, actually, he cut his term short because to him, he had explained to members, to NEC, that this is my approach, this is what I want to do. And they had insisted on him that, no, we can't do this. We are going
So
to be
then why
outlawed.
did he have to do what the other party members did not agree with?
For him, he has his brand. He has what he believes in.
That's the point.
So
individualism.
He's
That's
bigger
what
than
I'm
the,
talking
he's
about.
bigger than the party.
Hey,
No,
That's
look
what
here.
that's
you
the
want to say.
individualism we are
Look
saying.
here, look here. When we are in an institution and I have a position,
Yes.
and I feel my position is jeopardizing the rest of you, it is my right to agree with you to do my other things aside.
But then
That's
you still
what
want to be
basically-
part of the party.
You are a member. He's a member. He's a member.
Yes.
So he does the things like not all members of FDC work in Najana Nkumbi.
Yeah.
There are other things they do. They can do other things. Me, I'm in environment. That's my passion. I can do it. That's aside. But I subscribe to the FDC. So if my activism is jeopardizing the rest of you, because at one moment FDC was about to be outlawed. And people were like, no, you are causing us trouble. Do your other things as we move the party. That's how General Muntu becomes the party president of FDC.
Ensonga ya molo netandika ono molo
That's
ono molo.
Mu politics abantu baba bakola campaign buli muntu alina right okwogera kyayagala. Kati muntu abanga ali mu campaign ng'aba muwakanya baagala kwogera ekyo tobanenya era tobaleka byena ayigenda kwa agenda ina aja advancinga era abadde abo wangula nga babyogera. Okitegeera? It's okay, and that's our democracy as FDC, and we believe in it. Era bamala okuwangula ng'okwata munno mu ngalo nga mugenda mu maaso. Era nze obuzibu bwange bwe nfunye General Muntu kwe kumala omuwangula mu kalulu n'anyiiga nnyo afulume. Had General Muntu stayed in
ensonga eno
FDC,
ya molo ng'ekutte wansi ne waggulu molo ensonga eyo ng'ekutte waggulu oba oli awo yavaako obusungu n'agawa ekibiina kankyabulire bwe babanga
General Muntu wava obusungu
Ensonga eyo yaviirako ne Besigye okuva Najjana Nkumbi n'akola Katonda. How different is
omanyi
that?
mmwe ababeera eno temumanya bibeera mu kiyungu. Nze wa FDC kambabuulire. Muntu okufuluma FDC tekwali kwagala kwe. Bamupika bupisi. Bano abaali bamwetoolodde. Ne bamugamba tusobola, tulina ba MP, tusobola, tufulume. Bwe baafuluma bonna baagwa. Because the people loved them because they were FDC. And when they went away from that, they did not vote them.
mu FDC omwo mwe mwava ne Uganda Federal Alliance.
Yes. Busungu bwa muntu olinaga nze believing mu federal temugi advancinga nnyo nze kangende nnwanire federal yamaliza ali IGG.
Mwe muva mu Uganda Federal Alliance ANC nayo nevaamu.
ANC okufuluma FDC.
Kakati tulina n'abalala abafulumye.
Political party si gundi si komera.
That's
Today can decide to be FDC. When the principles of FDC die away, or what I believe in is not being listened to, I can decide to do other things.
Yes.
A political party is not a prison. That's what people should know. When I have what I believe in, and I think the people that I'm associating with don't believe in that, I have a right to associate with other people that believe in what I believe in.
Yes.
That's why people formed Federal Alliance. They said for us, we were advanced for federal, blah, 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 blah. They went. It is okay. The people that believed that said, for us the Muntus, because these people believe in activism, the powers, they believe in defiance. For us, we don't believe in defiance. Maybe we don't have space here. Let's go somewhere else and do our own things. That's how the ANT is formed. So in FDC ourselves now, the people that believed in activism, the people that believed in defiance, when they get the leadership and want to control the members to think the way they think, members will depart away from them.
That's true. Bob, today, if Kyagulanyi woke up and decided, you know what, I do not believe in the position of the NUP, do you think it would survive?
The bad thing when the formation of NUP and the formation of FDC is different.
Is it though?
Yes, it is. FDC was formed by sober people that wanted change. NUP was formed by people that wanted positions in an election. Chovola wagamba nganti awali ambulera tikinga nemwe FDC twachkolanga twagamba nti no namboze mulungi wadde wa DP tusobola ku associating ne mumulonde tetulinawo amwenkana muwanga kivumbi ebutambala tunafuna muntu amwenkana mumulonde wadde wa DP okitegeera. That's how we used to do it. But for them, they came with this selfish. That was at the cost of members, which was wrong in FDC. because we would have become selfish tugatinda tulonda kisumuluzo wale kisumuluzo okitegera that was a mistake of a party that one I can admit kwa sababu fero selfish mu buddobo netugaba bano tubakube sente tebaliwo okitegera naye twagamba nga oyo mulungi oyo alina kyagattako wadde waffe tannatuuka waawo okitegera
instead of grooming yours
no you can groom but people are different people have different talents and having a woman of the caliber of Numbers is not easy so you cannot kumukakanya okitegera okufuna omuntu nga Mbaraka Munyagwa ekawempe si kyangu
yaline eddoboozi
era ffe kyetugamba nti nno bano batukolamu bubise nga bakolanga ffe ne baga wadde FDC ono wati tumusitule okitegeera aho bali ffe kyovula abamu tetwaba joininga by the way and we're not sorry about that kubanga ate bo in their senses as a political party bali bazimba kyalo in they are okay to do it okitegeera for us we had our approach they have their approach okitegeera it's okay nechenjaga mutegeere mu FDC sengova ku principle ya FDC gwenga leader abantu bajja kulekawo okitegeera in a political party it's unique in a way that it's not like NRM that came from a rebel outfit and there it was feyafe twajizimba ne tujitegeka chovola some of us were members and actually there are so many other members that are there and they are silent. They support FDC, they finance FDC activities, and they are silent. They don't even look for positions. Very many. Okubeera mu political party, si wega nti oyagala kifo. Oyagala bwenjagala okwesimbawo ndi wa DP. No. Osobola okubeera wa DP nga gwe teweesimbawo. Naye nga ku kyalo gw'osobola gundi okyabulamu gw'oba okwata fulaga. Gundi oyo akyabulamu gundi yabaakwata. Okitegera ng'oli member ng'odirecting ebigenda mu maaso mu kibiina. So tugenze Ekatonga kubanga bali bannaffe bajeopardizinze je principle ya FDC tugenze nenze leka nkubuulire by the way abantu abasinga obungi ba member FDC bwo musinkana one on one nga tewali kamera akugamba munnange ngenda jja nankumbi kubanga gundi yaweerera omwana wange fees naye bye bakola nange sibyagala
kankuzeeyo ko katono wali ogambye nti Jeno Mugisha muntu okuva mu nti bwali busungu
okuva mu FDC
so okuva mu FDC busungu bamuwaga n'ebirala busungu siwe bomo wajjeyo fe
kitujje najja nankumbi nze sisobola kubeera mu kibiina kya FDC nga kikolagana buterevu ne Museveni I cannot then why am I opposing him so you want a collabo between FDC and NRM and we have seen this happen DP did the same thing and people have forgotten that. So you want like to be a member of DP. Kwanga uli wa member ba DP. Abatachirowoza nga continue party president wa president general asobola okubeera minister. Oshegera. Kati you want FDC to reach that extent nga tulaba. We will not let that happen. Bwe tujja bagamba nedda muvudde ku mulamwa tubivuddeko. Oshegera. And that's what basically we did. Because for instance toso akungamba nti no party president mu opposition ali mu cabinet ya government ati mugamba toli mu opposition ba DP ba ino obuzibu mu parliament where to sit their party president is sitting on the ruling side for them they are sitting on the opposition side what is that you want FDC to reach that and then you say muna bina bya Uganda byayonooneka bwe tulabanga kitandise okubeerawo fe ba member ba FDC tujja kugamba tujja byogerako kubanga buvunanyizibwa bwaffe tumale tudde bali
ensonga nene ya sente bwe bagikolako okunoonyereza obujulizi bwabwe
leka ngubuli ekintu kiri kimu omanyi waliwo ebintu ebyogerwa ebituufu n'ebintu ebituufu n'ebyogerwa nze ndi member FDC abasajja bafuna sente si waga nti nkyogera kuva wa Besigye kubanga Besigye akintaddemu nze tubadde mu FDC waliwo twatuuka by the way you guys this is from a horse's mouth omuntu abadde mu kiyungu tulina we twatuukanga ng'ogenda okuziika bakuwalaawo ensi ogenda okuziikirako munno ate nga mu FDC bwe tuziikirako nga tutoba osemba zino sente zaavuddewo abantu zino ze bagira mpaka abakulembeze bagati munnange zisente zemulala zitambula zaava wano webanuka bulijjo bwekiti and that is it abantu mujja kuwuliriza politics abeera mu maaso eyo naye from the horse's mouth abasajja bano baafuna sente bwe bamwinamu dawuti yonna abaana abasajja baafuna sente ate sente nyingi bw'oba olina sente
mugamba bafuna sente bwe babasaba obujulizi
waliwo ebintu embi otajja kwogerako bujulizi.
So Bob, Najja Nankumbi, Katonga, what's the plan? Katonga, particularly where you are, what's the plan?
For me, as me, this is what I am advancing in Katonga. We should dissociate from FDC.
Yeah,
because look, I have a problem.
I
have a problem. Every time I put on an FDC t-shirt and sit on a border, someone will ask me,
which side?
Which FDC is you? Katonga, Najja Nankumbi. We want to get a distinction. We must get a distinction because we are delaying too much. If we don't, we will leave politics. Me,
by distinction, by distinction, you mean another political party? Maybe form a formation. Because our leaders in Najja Nankumbi are stubborn. They don't want to reconcile. Some of us thought at one moment that
Bagala mukyaganya okukwatagana nabo.
Nedda tukwatagana ku principle.
Those
okwatagana tuyinza okukwatagana.
Oganya okusonyiwagana.
Tuba omanyi sente ekyazireeta mu FDC tubabuuza kyavaawo. Nkugamba ebintu byali bisatu ebyaleeta sente mu FDC. Activism. Kansoke nkubuuza wali owuddeko omuntu wa Najja Nankumbi yenna? Ojobere was here. He's an activist. When was he last on a street? When did he do activism? Kali nokwekuba ekifaananyi oba okutweetinga about the parliamentary exhibition. He was here. Ekyokubiri, Besigye ne kakati bakyamwogerera bubi. Besigye is not the problem. Ekyokusatu okwega waliwo ekisukka olina okuba olukiiko oba abantu allowance oyogere ku muntu n'otambula okuva e Kanungu n'ogenda Ekisolo n'ogenda nga naye omulamu agwo gwakwogera ku Bob tulikonsilinge ku kikati.
I hate to disappoint you. Unfortunately, politics is like that. Have you seen our neighbors? The ones who are recently in Rochester, do you know what was happening back a few...
the Kenyan president.
So I feel like that is not about to get away. So I don't know how you're going to have to move past that. But also the other thing, you mentioned that the leaders in Najja Nankumbi are stubborn, they don't want to reconcile.
They don't.
I also legitimately understand those are like the legitimate leaders of the party, so I do not know if they are the ones who are stubborn or you guys are the ones who are stubborn.
It's okay. Being at the helm of the party does not make you right.
Yes,
that's what people fail to understand. Yeah. You being my leader doesn't mean that you are always right. I have a right to criticize you. I've criticized them. At one moment when you criticize them, what they offer is money to you. Instead of addressing what you are criticizing. They say, Bob, keep quiet, get some money. Hey, I don't want the money. I'm telling you this and this and this. Can you change that? Promise me, even when you are lying to me. Say, okay, in December, maybe I would have changed this. But don't tell me you are going to give me money. You see? Let me tell you one thing. I'm not a prophet of doom. But one of the leaders in Najja Nankumbi, before it's too late, will be in cabinet. And you people will understand that we have a point. So you want us to be like DP members. Me, I'm a politician. I meet DP members. And you laugh at them, you will joke with them. You guys, muliko position muli kuchi. Nga ntaina kyakuddamu nga member. Kati nze member we FDC. It's my right. Okwogera ku bintu bino. Omanyi abantu basinga okwogera ku FDC abasinga omuyisiba member. They don't subscribe to FDC, tebamanyi bya FDC. Bala ba FDC political party yali ey'amaanyi. Nefe ba member abaddewo ng'etambula. Nga bagenda mu kalulu Najja Nankumbi. Some of us wanted to go for that election. Nga tubabuuza, where are the party cards? Before we go for elections, we normally have party cards. We go mobilize people, we register them, and we go for an election. They would say, no, don't ask about party cards. We went to Najja Nankumbi to have accountability. And these people, what they brought was the Kanyamas and its faces. If I'm a member of FDC, and I'm fighting with Ojobide or someone else, a member of FDC, we have a right to fight. Because we associate and we have our differences. But if you bring in extra force from the ghettos of Kampala to beat me a member, non-members to beat a member because he's questioning you, you cease to be my leader. Simple. Okay. It's not about Katonga, it's not about Besigye. We were beaten, you saw this. Journalists were beaten in Najja Nankumbi. And you want us to keep on, because we are FDC, so we shouldn't talk about this.
Okay, so again, the thing about, do you now in your own, as a member of the FDC, and one who believes in it, its principles and whatnot, do you think in the event that these leaders are stubborn, like you said, do you think Ekatonga should form another distinct party and move on?
Let me do one thing. As long as there is a party that has the DNA of the previous FDC, I will join it. The reason why I didn't join NOP, it's because when I looked at this DNA, I could not, it was not clear. Some of us asked for its constitution, asked for them, they were not clear. That's why we didn't join. If there is another party that has the DNA of FDC, we will join. Because you decide to associate with people that are like you. Like-minded minds associate. Period.
So in this time, when you still have Ekatonga and Najana Nkombi, what's, for example, what as youth, now I'll go back to you as youth and members. I understand the FDC as a youth league, if I'm
Yes, we
mistaken.
do.
Yeah. So how do you see, what's your role in this whole thing? How do you think you can either reconciliate as a party and get back to the foundation, or, you know, break away? What do you think? What are you going to be doing about that?
Let me tell you one thing. The youth are very vulnerable in everything that happens. Some of us, most of us are unemployed, so we want that money. The youth don't have the information, because most of us, except the youth league, we are always led by elders. So sometimes the youth have a very big problem. But because I'm a youth, that alone gives me zeal to stand on the side of the truth. Because I have a lot of time. Even when Nanda retires from politics, I will be just at my peak. So I cannot go with him, because for him he has been impatient. Because for them they are like, for us we are aging out, these things have not worked, the guy is not going away, why don't we, maybe we can, after him we can. That's what they are thinking. Me, I'm saying, no, my principle is I will say the truth and I will stand on that. That's what I encourage all the youth to do. We have a lot of time. Let's be patient. We will get the money. We will get the worth. But standing on the side of the truth is very important, because, look here, when you are young, you are just building your brand. In 20 years, people will say, Bob used to stand on the side of the truth. His DNA, when he says this, he does that. He does not just follow far. That's why the youth, it is very important for them to always scrutinize everything that is going on and know when to decide for the truth. Leka nkubule ekintu kiri kimu. Ffe tukyalina obudde. Bantu bagenda kulitayalinga. And let me tell you one thing. Even when Besigye goes away, me, I will always stand on the side of the truth. Because Besigye byatugambye, munange muyimbire wekiti, kino kifu, kino kikyamu, omuntu okuba sente za government kibi. Omuntu obutakola mazima kibi. Omuntu okukonjera munne kibi. Era kyetufollowinga. Mulowooza, kubanga bano bagobera Besigye. No. Let me tell you one thing. Me, I made a personal decision. I talked to Besigye personally. I talked to Nandala personally. I talked to Power personally. And I made a decision that you people are Nandala and Amriat, you are the wrong. And I decided, even when I decide, if I don't go to Ekatonga, I can decide to stay at my home. There's so many people who don't go to Ekatonga and don't go to Najana Nkumbi. So you think they don't know what they are doing? And they have decided that. Because they say, oh, this confusion, when I go to Ekatonga, they will think I'm a fanatic of Besigye. When I go to Najana Nkumbi, they will think I'm with those ones, Bandianabo. So I decided to start my home. There are so many FDC members that are seated and they are like this. So people should not take it for granted that FDC members follow Besigye, follow what? No. We follow the truth. And these guys got the money. When you ask about the money, my God, they lose their patience with you. Okay, Besigye is saying you got the money. Do you get the money? You don't ask that. Okay, as you go, you get this 500 for facilitation. Did I ask for that money?
Bandabanga waliwo obwetaavu.
Nedda, tetuli beetaavu. Abantu balowooza nti buli muntu ali mu politics mwetaavu. Tetuli beetaavu. Ffe tukola, tulina obwongo bwaffe. Kati bw'ongamba nti nno kubanga njogera amazima, ndeni ndi mwetaavu, nedda. Ate n'abantu abali najja nankumbi abasinga obungi. Si baga nti baagala nnyo ssente. Abamu bali eyo kubanga basazeewo ekyo. Otegeera? Oli n'agamba nti nno nedda byonna yakwadde baazifuna, kale tubireke nga kye kimubeezaayo. Naye nze nga bwe bafuna ssente okuva ewa Mwami Museveni nga tuwanyisa Mwami Museveni ave mu buyinza tuddemu. Because the most party yonna ekigibeezaawo the principle is taking state power. Omuntu gwe twagala okugjako state power yali mu kuba sponsoringa. Kati mbeere naawe. Nze kyekyanyigiza FDC njagala kutwala buyinza. FDC tutwala obuyinza, FDC ngeri tutwala obuyinza nekola Mwami Museveni byakola kati nja kugifuluma. Because they have given me this hope that when they are in power, things will change. Kati never twala leero obuyinza, ne bakola contrary. I will tell them, I will oppose them. Chovola leero bwakola ekikyamba gamba ekyo kifu. Because it's my responsibility as a member of FDC. So
you have, let me first understand this a little bit. Now you have the FDC structures. You have district level, you have, I think, up to the village. From
they is selected. Katonga, yeah. We are voting.
Yeah, no, I mean originally you have had
yes, we have had always, yes.
You've had all of those structures. And now, you as Katonga, you do not, many of those people still believe in the FDC and the leadership of the FDC.
Yes, it's right.
So, and you are the ones who are saying that that position does not represent the principles of the party.
Yes.
As it was originally and foundational. What are you now going to do for all of these people on the ground level who are still doing the work of the FDC that does not apparently have shifted?
That's why I'm on the necks of my leaders for us to make something else. So that
what do you mean by something else?
We need to form something distinctive of FDC, the way it is now. So that whoever is in FDC is there at the evolution. Whoever joins this or moves with us in this angle, because I'm tired of this FDC Katonga, FDC Najanankumbi, the FDC. If they want to take the FDC, the name, the party headquarters, let them do. Let's get something else and blend ourselves in that line. So that people could know, people support DP. And it's their right. I'm a DP member, blah, 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 blah. People support FDC. I'm an FDC member because of this. That's why I don't want to be in this confusion of like FDC Katonga, FDC Najalavu. When I put on an FDC t-shirt, someone asks me, did you eat the money or you are these people who didn't eat? I want us to be distinctive. Actually, I'm encouraging our leaders. If it may be, we should form another party or form a formation and be known for that. People who wanted federal went for Federal Alliance. People who want structures went for ANT. We need a new formation, and so that we become distinct. So someone should not confuse us. People will not, and let me tell you one thing. The moment we do that, we are going to help Ugandans. We shall say, and I don't want the FDC to appear anywhere in our formation. We should form something else, like over something else. Because someone supports UPC because of his UPC, he believes in its principles. Someone supports NRM because he believes in its principles. Someone supports FDC. Now, the FDC that has the confusion should cease to happen, should cease to be there. I am not leaving politics because Nanda and Amriat cannot force me to leave politics. I will get another thing. People who support NOP, they support it because of its principles. If you support a political party without knowing its principles, you are committing suicide. People who support Federal Alliance are for federal. Everyone knows that. So we should avoid this confusion. I'm encouraging my leaders. We should form something else. Either a new formation or a new political party. And be to activism. Bali wano. Someone who will join us again, ngende no kubanga bagala activism, ngende no kubanga bagala federal, ngende najja nankubi kubanga bali ba sente. Ushtegera. That's what we should do.
Mubimu ku birowoozo ebyaweebwayo wano mu National Council yakagwa okuforminga oba oliawo either ekibiina oba movement or whatever. Waliwo amaloboozi abagamu nga gagamba tulikonsayiringe.
Leka nkubuulire wetuli kati.
Just in case kiba kituuse.
Tetusobola kulikonsayiringa na Najanankumbi. If my leaders in Katonga decide to reconcile with Najanankumbi, I will not go back to Najanankumbi. Because I don't believe in them. What are they reconciling about? That they didn't eat the money? Or what they got the money and used it poorly? They can't kubuulire.
FDC egenda kweza emyaka abiri in this year, December.
Kati fe abali myaka 3 mutu ajjonya tuliba myaka 10. Saga twesibe kugamba nti no FDC tugyesibeko nnyo tukyesibeko nnyo. Waliwo abantu by the way nze njoga ne bamemba FDC abamu omagana gabanange erinnya lyaffe tulibalekere
mulikoleredde
tulikole nembaga bannange embeera bwekyuka naawe okyuka tuleme kubeera mu bibiina bya bufuzi tubeere ng'abali mu ddiini okitegeera tuleme kubeera mu mbeera ya bufuzi ng'abali mu buwangwa nze ndi muganda sirikyuka nedda senga FDC ekyusa okyuka kyobula omuntu yenna ava mu FDC nze simunyiigira senga atukisana kana era naye byemukola nze tebikyankolera nze njagala genda mu NRM mfuna omulimu. It is their right and for me I tell them bye. Era bw'abeera muganda wange tuweerezeeyo ko tukole activity eno kubanga mwagendeyo okufuna sente era bazituwa. Kati oyo yasalawo ekyo nesagala kubeera mu kintu nga Ninga nga ali mu busibe tekyali presentinga byenjagala nze njagala activism okitegeera nze njagala accountability. Kati bw'obanga abantu bawamba ekibiina nga tebagala activism tebagala accountability tebagenda kungoba mu politics nja kuforminga ekirala oba nnoonya abantu abalina DNA eyo tambule nabo si mu bubi basigaleyo naffe tukole ki tubeere ku kyaffe okitegeera abantu balina attachment to political parties but we should be like the Kenyans. Omukago gujja bw'olanga omukago guno okukolera n'ogenda eno ne gujja nga abantu sibakkiriza kanveeyo okitegeera bwe tulina okukikola bwe tuba twakutambuza okitegeera mu FDC teri muntu alina kaadi eri recent n'abaliyo kati baganozi ogozifulumya mu FDC ogenda Najanankumbi bakukeberanga mu tujju FDC kuba bannamawulire FDC abakulembeze baayo balwanagana abamu bayita ku bikomera nange ngende mbeere Najanankumbi kubanga just FDC the letters F D and C makes me a captive.
Forum for Democratic Change.
They cannot make me a captive of my conscience. Let me tell you one thing. Senga na joininga nupu nandibadde kati ndi kansala kitegeera naye saakikola kubanga principles abasazitegeera gwebera mu bifo byo nze mbere nga sina kifo nenga principle yange gyentambulirako. It's okay. Era nze by the way sagala nkwate obinti nno sagala nupu tusobola okukolagana naye siri member wa nupu nali member wa FDC ebandi member wa FDC okitegeera nsobola okukolagana wa DP naye saakufuuka member wa DP kyobola FDC bwe twali Dr. Besibwe yali nga presidential candidate ng'ayinza otuuka emuko n'agamba namboze mumpeera akalulu mulwanyi munnange okitegeera n'alekawo oluusi n'aba FDC. Actually some of us at one moment we were like no we should always promote ours naye nga ganedda omulwanyi abeera mulwanyi as long as you have the same DNA okitegeera kati abantu abatalina DNA naffe tetugenda ku associating nabo by force because we belong to the Forum for Democracy. We are not.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you also about this. Now I understand you have a feeling that apparently you've made up your mind. That
Yes, me personally I have. And I'm encouraging my leaders to also make up their mind.
You're not going back to Nigeria.
I'm not.
Even when your leaders decide to go.
I will not go with them. Basically, I will not.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is 2024. It is February now. Next week will be in March.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, today is the last day.
Yes,
okay. Tomorrow is March.
Yes.
So in this short period that is left up to 2026 elections, literally only next year, how do you see yourselves moving forward? You as, for example, politicians, I also understand you have your ambitions.
Yes, I do.
As many as in Ekatonga have ambitions who
Yes,
who are neither here nor there. Now I don't know where they stand. What do you propose as the direction now towards the 2026? Because now is the time. It's
Yes.
now or never.
Yes. First of all, even independents win elections. People should never threaten you that if you don't have a party ticket, you can never win an election. Even independents win an election. Even sometimes you find NRM winning an election in an opposition-dominated area, as long as you have the DNA and people believe in you. If we don't form another political party or formation to stand in, we will go, me myself, I will go independent, because I don't talk for the rest. Everyone has a right. By the way, we have so many people in Ekatonga that at one moment will go back to Najana Nkumbi. We have people in Najana Nkumbi that at one moment will cross to Ekatonga. Understanding something late does not mean that you have not understood it. So I don't judge them, those people that are in Najana Nkumbi. Actually, some of them when you meet them on personal levels, they know the problem. Nandala has got FDC and he wants to run it as a family business. He wants to run it as his estate. I cannot be in a political party that is run by leaders as their personal estates. A political party is a democratic institution where elections, where the majority rule, even when they are wrong, as long as the majority have decided that we take this direction, as long as you associate with them, you will take that direction. So, but if someone is running it as his personal estate, then I dissociate from that. So, me, myself, I will either run independent in an election, or I'm encouraging my leaders. They have not made up their mind. We are encouraging them so that we get a formation. If it's a political party, we get distinct with that. Okay? Munanga abaddukira Ekatonga kati bakoze kino era mubalondere ku kino. Naye batatulonde nga bantu batutegedde. It's okay. With time, like the youth, with time, people will understand us. So, nze kyo kyembirivingiramu tulina forming it. Actually, ne pressure gyola ab'Ekatonga gye baliko ku National Council gye baliko ereetebwa youth ffe tubaga nedda. Because some of our leaders, they think these people can be redeemed. Apparently, by the way. But some of us know they will never. If a lion eats a person, it is destined for death. Because it will never enjoy any other meat except a human being. I'm an environmentalist. But if a lion tastes human flesh, it will always hunt human flesh. So people in Najana Nkumbi tasted human flesh. They are destined for death. We cannot associate with them. I cannot associate with them. I can't. For instance, these people got money. The money that was getting money is a different thing. By the way, my understanding of this was different. Me, I was like, okay, if they got the money, maybe we should.
Because
we should.
Doctor yafunako.
Yeah, bakulimba. Teyafunako, but it's okay. Yaba yafunako, it's okay. Kasaya kyogera. Nze by the way simanyi bafuna sente. Nze nayinda batu ejjalabya tukola obubaga nga simanyi sente gezaava. Naye nze kyeyanyamba Dr. Charlie ekintu ekimu kuŋŋamba nti sente zajja. Naŋŋamba gye zaava. Ne ŋŋamba okwejerera kuno zisente zineza. Bw'obeera ng'omusajja ewuwo nga buli lunaku olya nkoko ng'omukazi w'omulekera mutwalo.
Bob, let me ask you. So Besigye decides around Muntu, decides this is not the action that I want.
Yes, as an individual.
I am going to go as an individual.
Do my thing, but stay a member of the party.
Let me come. So eventually, and I'm giving it as a theory. Eventually, Besigye decides, because many of you believe in him, and comes up and says, bring it as a possibility, comes up and says, you know what, because he does not believe in the leaders of Najana Nkumbi, and says, you know what, those leaders go to money.
No. It isn't like that.
What is the likelihood that could happen?
You people, You know, there is
because
a
up to now
propaganda.
it has not been proven factually.
The leaders in Naja
all you guys have said is you
Naja
get too much money. Now I understand where it came from, yet you actually don't understand where it came from.
Let me tell
You're just standing on the word of
Let me tell you one thing. The leaders of Naja Nankumbi are in Naja Nankumbi because of Besigye. He believed in them. So you saying
and
that
then eventually he does not, so he wants to throw them out.
No. Besigye simply said the truth. The problem of Besigye, and actually one time I told him, your problem is always saying the truth. When Besigye wrote the Doza in 1999, talking about the fundamental change with NRM, they threw him out. He told them the truth, but this is not what we fought for. You remember his problems with NRM? He's saying the truth. His problem with Naja Nankumbi is saying the truth. If Besigye was selfish to know what he knows and he kept quiet, he would be a darling to them. But the problem of Besigye is always saying the truth.
And
I applaud him for that. Because sometimes the truth is very hard to be said.
And we take him by his word.
He's a man of his word.
Well, that's not how it works. With
I can tell you.
With facts, for us, we believe in facts.
In politics, Besigye is not supposed to be in politics. Besigye is supposed to be an activist. Because to him, he always says the truth. A politician will lie to you. He's not a politician. It is not his DNA that he's a politician. He's not. He's an activist. So, these people in Naja Nankumbi, they came in Naja Nankumbi because of Besigye. He personally campaigned for Patrick Amriat. Power. Personally. Actually, the problem of General Muntu with Besigye began then. Said, you man in Nambore. You man. Because he saw him as a problem. Because, like, for you want organization, now let's try activism. We have given you 8 years, let's try this. And that's when they fell out. And that's why Muntu leaves FDC. If Besigye had kept to his office and kept quiet and didn't campaign for Patrick Amriat, no one would know Patrick Amriat, by the way. It is Besigye that produced, that birthed Patrick Amriat. Amriat was a political reject. For lack of better words, was a political reject. Even in his constituency, he had lost an election. Besigye obuzibu kwogera mazima. Actually, bwe buzibu bwokka. Alliance teyali formingiddwa oba oli awo n'embeera eno teyali. Era abantu bonna abaava mu FDC nga bagenda ne General Muntu baavamu kuba bagamba Besigye oyo n'atuleetera omusajja oyo ajja mmulaba. Abamu baali bamumanyi nti nno si wa mugongo. Actually, the problem of if Patrick Amriat had, because when the initial deal of the money was going on, Patrick was not there. The party president was not. Because people wanted money, the secretary general wanted the party, they looked for ways of getting money. They fell into the ditch of the NRM and Mr. Museveni. Had he stood and said, oh, you people brought money, I don't know where it came from, and he had stood his ground, maybe we would be still together. Actually, whatever is going on in FDC, I blame it on one person, Patrick Amriat. Because we were willing to sacrifice Honorable Mafabi. But Patrick Amriat held him tightly because he was being compromised with money. At one moment, I told him personally, you stand aside, we deal with this guy. He said, no, you people, you the youth. We were in Bujiri. We told him, stand aside, we deal with him. Because for us, the youth in FDC, that is our principle. We deal with you squarely. And he would be nowhere. But Patrick was like, no. Because he actually, from what we got to know, is that he was given a lot of money. Close to $1 billion. He bought a farm. He built a house. A lot of things he did. He sold his soul. It's okay. So you don't expect Bob to be here in my youthful years. At my age, our fathers were fighting in the jungles of Ruel. Even saying we can't say, you think we can't talk? Because Museveni and his youthful wing, they were fighting. In our prime, like the age we are. For us, we don't want to be violent. We are peace-loving, and we are saying the truth. And even when my leader goes wrong, and let me tell you one thing, the FDC DNA that we have, most of us, even when Besigye goes wrong, we normally caution him. We tell him off. We tell him, no, this cannot happen. Sometimes he explains to us as our leader, and sometimes he listens to us. So if there is a person in Najjanankumbi who thinks he cannot listen to us, then I cannot associate with them. That is the basis. That is the basis.
Do you see the thing we were talking about when we were starting? The individual fanaticism. Now, everything of yours is based on what does Besigye do or what would have Besigye done in this situation. When you talk, because that's your measure. I've clearly listened very well, and I sort of am looking at it this way, that I understand Besigye might be right. Yeah, again, fine, we don't have a conclusive facts yet. What we have is Besigye's word against Amuriat and Nanda and Mafabi.
Ask the members of FDC.
You don't have facts.
We do have facts.
You don't have facts. What are the facts?
I've told you the parties we are having in Najjanankumbi.
If the parties,
I'm telling you
what did you have
the burial allowances.
So let's
when your wife gets money, you get to know. For us, we are members of FDC. When these people got money, we got to know.
You don't have the
Things changed.
facts. You don't have, what you have is this. You have a word of Besigye saying this guy has got the money, and you have a word of Nanda and Opoa saying Besigye is a liar and he's trying to destabilize the party. That's what you have.
No.
And now my problem is this, and that's not to refute any of the sides. My problem is this, that many of you are making decisions basing on who do you believe in and what are they saying. When I listened, you are saying Besigye told us this. Besigye would tell us this. We either tell him or he tells us something like that. And then you're saying that ordinarily Besigye decided to do this and I decided that was the right thing. The decision was not based on the facts again. It was based on who do I believe in and what are they saying. So at the end of the day, as an individual, even if Besigye makes another party, do you think many of you that are still in Ekatonga are going to be so objective and independent that when Besigye says I don't believe in this and you believe in it, you still stick?
Let me tell you one thing. From the horse's mouth, I'm an active member of FDC. During the general election, I was assisting in the commission of elections. So whatever I'm saying, I'm not saying from the hearsay. Actually, when Besigye said what he said, it just confirmed what we had been seeing. Truthfully, from from the experiences we were having in Najjanankumbi before, because I've been in FDC since I was in my S4. 2006, I stood in an election in 2021. Actually, my colleagues would tell me, why don't you stand? I'm like, no. I don't want, I'm doing my other things. I have to secure my businesses. I don't want to be active. I don't want, but I would fund, I would do everything. But I was an active member. And actually, I could even bring evidence of all the things we have been going through. But when the money came into FDC, things changed. We would gather chikumi to go for burials. We would gather chikumi to buy something, to get someone into a hospital. But this time, people would bring millions. And that's a fact. If you don't believe it, it's okay. The fanatism of Besigye, even when Besigye is wrong, actually some of us were attempting us that when Besigye makes a party, we don't even join. We stay in dormant. But actually, we have come to think about that when we do that, we would make the Nandalas happy. Actually, one of the reasons why we are bitter with Nandala, most of the youth, is that he wants to send us to our retirement. That's why we're
not ready to retire.
He wants to send us to, because I've been known for FDC. Some of us are called FDC, by the way, in our villages. Someone meets you, doesn't know your name, but he calls you FDC. Hey, FDC, jangu kutuareko. So this guy starts associating with the junta and wants to send us, because at one moment we have problems of explaining to people that, you know what, it is hard to run a party. Sometimes you get, because running a party is one of the hardest things. Every political party that you see surviving, it is in this era of Mr. Seven, it is very hard. But people gather, people associate, they have like minds. When you have problems, you sit together as a family. But when a family member starts misbehaving, the right thinking would be tell them. If you cannot change them, you know, in Islam, bagamba imani ya bintu bisatu. Okyogerako, n'okwata n'okijjawo n'omukono gwo, oba n'okikyawa. Kati ffe ebigenda mu maaso mu FDC, twabyogerako. Ne tugezaako birwanyisa obijjawo. Musinga tukozesa system za FDC. Ne mwalabanga bakifeesi nga batukuba. Mulabanga, because for instance, people forget so easily. Muchimanyi nti FDC ya hiringako goons ne bamala mu Najja Nkumbi almost 3 months. And they were being paid 100,000 every day. 100,000. Emitwalo 10 buli lunaku buli mutwe bali bawera ebyo bisatu. Fe bamwe FDC ne batukiza na kuyingira. Nze at one moment najjako ku gate ne bantu wale 10 nga nziruka. Naye lwaki? Era nga tubabuuza kati sente ze musasula aba bana kwanga tubalanga nabo bakulembeze baffe nga tebalina sente. Mumusaba neza okunywa amazzi nga tazirina. Naye kati alina emitwalo 10 gyasasula bakifeesi 300 babere mu kitebe kubanga bawulira nti no babobu bagenda kujja. Not even Besigye. That the Bobs will come and ask for accountabilities. And then you think these people didn't get the money? When Besigye says that they get the money, for us some of the members, we simply confirmed it. We simply confirmed it because we know the truth. We know the FDC we have been living in. So when, this is for the married people, when your wife gets money, you get to know. When you ask her, my darling, where did you get the money? And she cannot explain. You have a reason to worry. So, omuntu neighbor bajana nga munange no mukazi wo sente zalina yazijjeno nchawe neighbor because Besigye is
neighbor
saying the truth.
Neighbor what ina facts mchawe
nida vaku facts wale bintu byata nonyako facts
tawali bintu bitabira na
facts gwe munondo agusasa kuba mu sente
enyingi eziri abunomo gwegume
kuba abaziri mu mitambo ku mulundi guli ku mulundi guno sibe baziri mu mitambo
neighbor abatalina facts obufumo obukolera
kati namba bulire waliwo ebintu ebimu byotanonya facts nze nkugambye sente ze nalaba mu Najja Nkumbi mu 2021 zali abunomo ate nga nno ensaasaanya yaazo gwa muwaana waana ennyo gwe gwawa otegeera teziriko proper channels kwanga Najja Nkumbi okufuna akasente you sign here sign there sign there sign here nenga kuno ziva mu pocket ya muntu ba MP abali besimbyewo bomulabikira obulungi nakuwaya akakadde.
But that's what happens in
that is wrong in a political party in a political party mbanga mwesimbyewo mwenanga muli ba MP bwe basazewo bakubira posters mwenna bakubira if they cannot print for all of you they don't because you associate obunafu obuberewo n'amaanyi goli okosa amaanyi goli n'obunafu mutambula awamu. That's why we are in FDC. Nti nze bwe mbanyi n'obunafu mu kino nga munnanga alina amaanyi mu kiri bwe twegatta awamu tusobola okutambula awamu. Onanyambako nange ne muyamba. That's a political party. Naye kati bali bagirwaninga nga family estate. Nga amunyumira bw'omuzinira obulungi n'akuwaayo. Nombuza naye ompadde ku vote ki? Don't mind. Bwe batuga nti muneze yali agaba yazijja wano nga tuwakana.
Nga temulina bukakafu.
Obukakafu kati kamba buli member wa FDC obukakafu abulina era akimanyi ekyali mu
Okay, tutusendoza ku ssaawa ey'okunze kasho ya for olunaku lwaleero. So the last remarks abavubuka muli luddawa?
Nze kyensaba abavubuka kiri ekintu kiri kimu. Abavubuka babeere n'obuvumu. Nti oluusi ebibeerawo bibeera temporary. Nti omuvubuka togenda na kulimbibwa nga totegedde facts. Naye bw'otegeera facts ziyimirireko kubanga eyo kaya insurance yo mu maaso. Leero ensi eyinza okujja ajingwa obulala, leero oyinza obutafunamu. Abamu abali mu FDC abali mu opposition twerekereza bingi. Kitegeera? Kati ate bwe mba nerekereza bingi twerekereza emirimu twerekereza sente. You people NRM buli lunaku etutuukirira neba ofalinga sente ne mugaana because of what you believe in. Era babuuza senga munamba sente zo munazikiriza kwa ate kati biveeko nebo ogenda nokola farm biveemu nogamba nedda sijja kulya mu nsi yange lukwe this what I'm going to do. Kati eyo insurance yokko omuvubuka gy'olina ekirala abavubuka mwenna abafunye obusente, it's okay, nemanya nti nno olidde future yo, sente za leero value yazo n'ez'omu maaso byanjawulo. Kyobola abamukwakkanyoga nti n'ofunye ekifo, njagala we ndifuna ekifo nga maze okufuna experience n'okukolera abantu ebyo bye bakola ki nti no, this is the only thing lyerinnya lyokka lyojja okulekawo even you when you are away. So nze abavubuka mbenkalejinga munywerere ku mulamwa, munywerere ku mazima, ate abakulembeze bamwe mubabuuze ebibuuzo ebikakali. Omulembeze bw'akola ekikyamu mubuuze ebibuuzo ebikakali. Bajja kiranga abavubuka bannanga, abavubuka bati bali andule, but ask the hard question. Nze kyensaba abavubuka.
Okay, tweyanziza nnyo, tweyanzege mukulu Bob. Tugenda kuba nga tuwunzika show yaffe olunaku olwaleero n'akatabo kano kagamba Cancer ate my bones and God preserved my spirit. Kawandiikibwa mukyala Lucia Orikiriza era nga kopi eri ku mitwalo 6 gyokka. Weekwate kopi yo ng'obudde bukyali osobola okuba nga osomako obulwadde buno obwa cancer, osome story ye. Mukyalo ono yasobola ate okusurvivinga cancer ow'emirundi 6 era nga yali ku stage 4. So akatabo kano kekwase kopi ya mitwalo 6 gyokka era ng'ojja kuba ng'oyita ku namba z'essimu 0783 047785 oba 0701 800 212. 0783 047785 gwa MTN, so nga ate gwa Airtel osobola okuyita ku 0701 800-212 noba nga wekwata kopi yo ng'obudde bukyali osome olabe olugendo lwe lwali lutya era yasurvivinga atya, yakozesa biki, yagenda malwaliro ki n'ebirala obuuli awo ebigwa mu kkobo eryo ku bulwadde buno obwa kansa. So kopi yo osobola okuba ng'oyita ku namba z'essimu ezo. Gwali mu kibuga Kampala, delivery ya bwereere. So gwali ewala ojja kuteekamu akasente akatonotono okubanga akatabo kano bakakutuusiza wonna wooli. Twebaza mugenyi waffe olunaku olwaleero mukulu Bob, webale kubeerawo, webale kukwata budde, webale kutaanya nsonga. Oba oli awo abamu beekunisa, bamu tebagala kubyogerako naye tweyanziza nnyo olwakadde k'otuwadde. Ne neebaza ne munnange bwe tutambudde ku sheno omukulu Rogers tuli ahabwe. Tweyanziza nnyo, tweyanzeege. Tugenda kuba nga tuwunzikira wano. Nze omumbejja Luwedde Lilian, tosobola voltage akawungezi k'olunaku olwaleero. Mubeere bulungi, mwera.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.